how's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Monsters. This is Season 3, Episode 13, and this one's entitled Malcolm. It originally came out December 23rd, 1990, so literally just a couple days before Christmas. This is written and directed by Tom Noonan. It stars Ed Lauter, Carole, Shelley, and features a special appearance by Farley, Granger. Now, this is a very different Monsters episode. This is an episode of Monsters that decides to go for art house surrealism, and yeah, that is a change of pace to say the least. But you get this guy, he's a musician, and he decides to stop playing. Well, after that, he develops this cyst literally pulsing against his stomach, and it turns out he quite literally has something inside of him that needs to get out. Yeah, the metaphor is not so subtle in this one, but we do have some fun moments, some weird characters and some humor, and also some bizarre and surreal sets. You know, like, we have a hospital segment and the surgery room looks like a black box theater. There are a few shades of David Lynch in this, you know, not all-out Lynch insanity, but you know, you can see the inspiration here. And we also get a fun little creature towards the end of this. So it's not a perfect episode, but again, I can applaud the change of pace. The thing that really does get me, though, is how on the nose this one is. Like I said, it's literally something inside of you that wants to come out. It has a super on the nose and obvious follow your dreams metaphor, and I think that's a thing with like art house surreal films, is a lot of them you don't 100% know what they're trying to say, and it invites you to kind of decode and think about it. When you have one like this that is super on the nose, it's actually kind of strange. It's like, I know what you're trying to say, but that's a really bizarre way to put it. And yeah, this one really just kind of feels like it lacks depth. And again, I do like to see Monsters trying something different, but it's very straightforward for what it is. But you know what? Hey, this is a fun, different little episode. Not my favorite overall, but you know, it's interesting, I guess. Anyway, in order to analyze this further, let's take a bit of a look at the plot. No major spoilers, but I do want to break down and analyze a few things. I'll be avoiding the end bits though. But anyway, how does the episode open up? Well, we start off with this woman who's digging around in a closet and finds a disco ball and hangs that up in her living room. She also sets a record going and waits for her husband to come in. When he does, the husband asks, "What's going on? What's up with all this?" And she presents him with an instrument. I am not 100% sure what this one is. I'm not a band nerd. I believe it's a clarinet, but if I'm wrong, sorry about that. But she presents him with his old instrument and says, "I want you to play for me. You haven't played for me in a long time. Please give it a try." And he does try, but after a little stumbling, he decides to just put it down and says, no, this isn't for me, not anymore. I don't do this anymore." And then he talks about how he has to focus on work. He's designing a box that can hold 48 cupcakes. So yeah, he's literally a package designer. But I do like that whole juxtaposition of it's a cupcake, something that should be happy and whimsical, but he just has to build the box for it and he's stressing out over it. A nice little touch. Well, anyway, he's asleep at his desk. The wife puts the record in and hears a humming sound coming from inside him, and he literally has a glowing light coming out of his mouth. Yeah, there's a light inside of you. You see how this isn't necessarily the most subtle thing ever? But then again, maybe that's the thing. Maybe we're just playing on common colloquialisms and saying, hey, isn't this weird if they were actually literal? Well, when she wakes her husband up, it turns out that there's a pulsating in his stomach. The humming sound that also, I guess, caused the light is something literally inside of him, and we get an effect of it pushing up against his stomach. Yeah, kind of a bit of a body horror episode, I guess. And she takes him to the hospital. We do get, when the doctor comes in, a few really funny jokes. You know, he comes in and he goes, "Oh, we have good news. We take your insurance. You wouldn't believe some of the people that try to come in here." Yeah, health insurance being a joke 35 years ago, it doesn't really get much better. Sorry, monsters. But anyway, the doctor tells him that it turns out he has a cyst, which he explains as something inside that the body's rejecting and covering in cells to try to kind of smother, I guess. And he says, is there something inside of you that you don't want? Again, we're kind of being a little literal with the metaphor here, and they rush him into surgery to cut it out, to quite literally take this thing out of him. Again, we're being quite literal with the metaphor here. So yeah, they're going to literally rip out this thing inside of him that's shining light and making music. Yeah, I think we all know where we're going with this. That being said, there is one part that bugged me. When they're rushing him off to surgery, the wife is asked to sign a paper and she doesn't. In fact, she knocks it out of his hands, and yet they still go on with the surgery. I'm like, wouldn't you want the proper paperwork, or is there some procedure for this? I don't know. But it's supposed to be that bizarre, surreal atmosphere. I mean, the way the doctor acts is big and over the top. The hospital's made out of like curtains, and the surgery is, again, like a black box theater, so we can kind of lean into the surrealism. And towards the end of the episode, we do get a bit of talking, you know? We get talk about duality, you know, like the guy's name's Malcolm, but the wife wants to call him Mickey, you know? So hence the title of the episode. And there is some good ideas in here. Again, though, it's just played so face forward. It's an interesting enough idea. I just wish that it was, I don't know, a little more layered and deep or something. Again, it's David Lynch styled surrealism, but with like a PSA level of clarity. It's kind of a weird combo. Again, not terrible, and I love that we tried something different. It's not a highlight, but it's not a bad episode by any means, and hey, the little thing that's inside of him is kind of interesting. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Monsters playlist. If you guys want to see me talk about more episodes of the show, you should be able to see them there. Anyway, have a good day. See you guys again very, very soon. Playlist here. Have a good day now.